This is breaking news.
Minute here. Get through the trees. There is the motorcade. The Port Authority vehicle will break off in a few minutes and let the state police escort the president the rest of the way, the former president. It's a state police vehicle, and there is Mr. Trump's SUV in the front on the right side of your screen. Thank you. And for those of you who are joining us on CBS News New York, I'm Dan Rice, live in Chopper 2. And you're looking down at I-78 in Newark. Former President Trump, his plane just landed a few minutes ago at Newark Liberty International Airport. He has left the airplane, gotten into his black SUV down here. The motorcade is now on its way from the airport, heading out towards his golf course out in Bedminster, New Jersey. We'll keep an eye on the motorcade as it makes its way along I-78. You see traffic being held as the motorcade makes its way on west. We're just going to talk to the tower here, and our pilot will start following the motorcade in just a minute. You see those trees blocking the vehicles, but that will clear up in just a minute. We're going to adjust the camera here in a second for everybody, so it's a cleaner picture. Sorry about all that, but you'll see the motorcade emerge from those trees right over here on that outer roadway, I believe. And any second. Actually, it's a crossover. They may go the inner roadway. You can see the police vehicle standing by. And what they do is they block off the crossovers over here so that way nobody can interfere with the motorcade as it makes its way on west. And there we go. Those state police vehicles that will escort the former president back out to his golf course. And we'll see this at various points along the route where the state police will basically leapfrog each other. You see those two vehicles on the outside of the president's motorcade. They go zipping past. And what they'll do is they'll get ahead of the motorcade, and when they see other vehicles on the highway, they're going to pull them over. And when they pull those vehicles over, it's just a temporary stop just to make sure that the motorcade can cleanly get down the highway. See those SUVs and those unmarked police chargers making their way along the highway. Yeah. Our pilot, Eric, just saying how the last time we followed Mr. Trump back to his golf course, the state police even had their helicopter out here escorting them at a low altitude. But that state police helicopter not here tonight. There we go. You see we're passing the Garden State Parkway, as the sign says. That SUV, the black one that's leading the caravan, that's where Mr. Trump is riding in. You can see that traffic on the express lanes of 78 being held as they take the crossover and make their way onto the express lanes of I-78. This is all now in Union Township. Of course, this follows Mr. Trump's arraignment down in Washington, D.C., where he flew down earlier this afternoon. And he was down there just long enough to plead not guilty. And then get back in his cars, back to his plane, and now he is back in New Jersey already. So a quick trip down to Washington, D.C., and now they're just going to make their way out towards the golf course, about 20 miles away from here. See that traffic on the outer roadway. You got the one police vehicle in the left lane just following the the motorcade there as it continues on along the westbound side of I-78. We're coming up on Route 24 soon. And we see more of those police vehicles fast going ahead of the motorcade. Again, just trying to make sure no other cars get in the way, slow it down. And as it continues on here, the roadway will merge together into one highway in a minute. You can see the rest of that motorcade there, the ambulance following along, the police at the backside. There's the split there. It takes people out to Route 24 if they want. It's their last chance to get out there. Yeah, this is about a 20-25 minute ride for the motorcade as it leaves the Newark area and heads on out to Somerset County. And we did see Mr. Trump out there playing a couple of rounds of golf on his golf course earlier this week. But today, he took the ride from Bedminster out to Newark Airport, where again he flew down to Washington, D.C. And he was only down there for a few hours, wasn't there very long at all. And quickly made his way back to New Jersey. Actually making it back here a little earlier than we had expected, to be honest. You see that traffic being held from the local lanes before the two roadways come in together as one. And again, that motorcade continuing along I-78. And if you look on the shoulder there, as the camera follows along, you'll see they're holding more traffic from getting onto the highway. Every once in a while, again, you will see state police, both in marked and unmarked vehicles, holding traffic off to the shoulders, usually over to the right shoulder. And you see those state police vehicles leapfrogging ahead again. And we'll take a look up the highway here as we watch those state police vehicles go speeding up along the highway around the corner there. And again, as we come around the bend there, I'm sure we'll see a couple of cars pulled over. One more time. Oh, okay. So obviously, the further away we get from Newark Airport, get into a more rural area. You can make out those cars in the motorcade. Bring the camera out a little bit wider and you'll start to see some of the other traffic following behind. Actually a pretty good sized gap. There we go. Some of the cars now making their way back. So you kind of get a feel for how big that gap is between the traffic and the motorcade. And of course you have those police cars at the back of the motorcade right there, just making sure everybody keeps their distance. More police there. As they continue around here, what you're going to see now is some traffic on 78. So it's a line of police cars that are creating a wall between traffic on I-78 and the former president's motorcade. Again, that first SUV you see in the video on the left lane, that's the SUV that is driving Mr. Trump back to this golf course. There you see, as we had talked about before, one of the police cars holding a vehicle off to the shoulder until the motorcade moves, and you can see the car not being allowed to leave just yet. So coming into the Berkeley Heights area of 78, right around exit 43. Again, the golf course is roughly 16, 17 miles away from here. So it shouldn't take the President's Motorcade all that long to be able to make its way out to Bedminster. And you see more of that traffic being held off to the side of the roadway to allow the motorcade to make its way past those entrance ramps. And again, if you are just joining us here on CBS News New York, you're watching the former President Donald Trump's motorcade making its way from Newark Liberty International Airport, where about a half hour ago his plane touched down. Making its way back from Washington, D.C. And they had a little emergency at the airport when the plane landed. So it kind of slowed down their ability, not to do with the former president's airplane, but a separate issue at the airport that delayed the former president's plane from making its way over to the hangar area for him and his entourage to be able to deplane and get into their SUVs here. But once that situation was taken care of, they were able to get off the airplane, get into those SUVs, and now you're just watching as they make their way out towards Bedminster, New Jersey. And again, you're just watching as the state police continue to run interference, more or less, for this motorcade and making sure that any traffic ahead doesn't try to slow down the motorcade. We'll watch as some of these state troopers will pull over vehicles. Like you see over here, it looks like one's trying to be pulled over here around the bend. Doesn't look like it's going to pull over for that Charger. Looks like he's finally going to pull over for that unmarked state police car. Does so just as the former president's motorcade makes its way past them. There they go, right there. And once the motorcade goes by, you see that silver Charger will make its way up along the motorcade again. It'll go past these vehicles and try to keep other vehicles from slowing them down. And there it goes right there, off to the right side of the screen. Do that again. In the meantime, the second vehicle in line comes up alongside the former president's SUV. So this is the scene we'll see play out for the next 10 miles or so until they get off of the highway and make their way over to the golf course. And as we continue to watch the motorcade make its way along 78. Let's just take a look back behind the helicopter. I'm just going to turn the camera around as we continue to fly forward. Just to give you an idea, I know a lot of people think this creates a major traffic delay on I-78, but you look behind us there and you can see traffic not being severely impacted by this. No delays behind the motorcade. Traffic seems to be moving free and clear behind it, so just a slight inconvenience for everybody, it appears. Anybody who might get pulled over, we're just going to bring our camera back around to the front of the helicopter. We'll catch up with the motorcade again in 1 second. So as we bring the camera back around, you see a few more of those cars. And again, there's the motorcade. And it's a time of the night where most of the traffic for the evening commute has pretty much ended, gotten to where they need to go. So it is 6:47 here in the East Coast. And there again, you see more traffic. I believe that's exit 36, where they're holding everybody, trying to get onto the highway. Another ramp over here from the other side of the highway. They do that temporary hold. The SUVs will release the traffic being held and then try to get ahead of the motorcade again and see what else is up ahead of them. And we're only about 5 miles away, 6 miles away from I-287, a fairly major intersection on the highway. There we see quite a few cars being held to the right lane. So a very precise operation the New Jersey State Police will do as they escort the motorcade. One they've had to perform many times now. And they'll hold all that traffic over there. And eventually the motorcade will overtake that traffic. See the lead state police car go with the SUVs. So again, we'll follow them as they get onto the golf course, or enter the golf course and get onto the property there that Mr. Trump resides at when he's up here in New Jersey. See, we're coming up on exit 33. So as I said before, we have seen this in the past. We've seen a helicopter escort go along with the motorcade, a state police helicopter escort. And tonight we don't see that. Oh, you did? Oh, I'm sorry, Eric. I didn't hear that. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So apparently the state police helicopter is here with us. I did not see that before. I guess he's pretty far ahead of the motorcade. You cut out there, Eric. Where is he? Take a look here. And of course, we have the sun setting out there. Oh, yeah. I guess that's the chopper over there, isn't it? There we go, folks. Yeah. Wow. Last time they had the smaller helicopter there. So this time around we have Big 3NJ. And you're going to notice the raindrops on the lens there. We're going to fly through a little rain shower as we make our way out to the golf course. So bear with us. Looks like it's just a small little shower we'll fly through here, but the lens will get a little wet. You can see some of that rain on the road surface down there. I think that might have been the worst of it. No, it's still raining. So all different kinds of weather here in New Jersey today. Overcast skies, the sunny skies to a little bit of rain as we continue to follow the former president on his ride out to his golf course in Somerset, Bridgewater Township. Bedminster Township. And there we see another blockage there. Looks like that's coming off of the scenic overlook. So you can see the signs for 287. So they'll go past 287 to the next exit. And they'll get off at that exit and work their way along the local roadways to get over to the golf course. So there they go past 287. Next exit will be exit 26, Rattlesnake Bridge Road. And that's the exit they'll take to work their way back to the golf course. You see that vehicle in the front there. That is the vehicle that Mr. Trump is riding in right now. Again, if you are just joining us on CBS News New York, this is the motorcade taking former President Trump from Newark Liberty International Airport back to his golf course in Bedminster, New Jersey. This after arriving from Washington, D.C., where he did plead not guilty. It was a quick trip down there, left earlier this afternoon, arrived, made his appearance, and then got back in the cars, came back to his airplane and back in New Jersey. You see all that traffic on the left side of your screen. That's the traffic coming off of I-287 being held as the motorcade makes its way past all that traffic and that roadway. Take the camera with a wider shot for a second there, and you'll see all the farmland out here. The golf course will come up here in just a few minutes. Again, a rather rural part of New Jersey. We're going to switch lenses on the camera for 1 second. You'll get the bigger picture of where we are out here. And up towards the top right side of the screen, that is the golf course that he will eventually make his way to. You see the police helicopter over to the left side of the screen. Start with the police helicopter first, and you can see they're flying along, escorting the motorcade from the air. We've seen a large police escort on the highway, and you can see the golf course now off to your right. So the motorcade will pass it along 78. And like I said, they'll get off at the next exit and then work their way back over here towards the golf course. So for the former president, it's not that long of a car ride to get from Newark out to this part of New Jersey. Oops, sorry, folks. And you can see all the cars are now shifted over to the right side of the highway. And again, they're coming up on Rattlesnake Bridge Road, and they'll follow that over. see the police car making the right there. That's the exit they'll take now. What's that? Sorry, folks, talking to our pilot there. Okay. So obviously a fairly tree-lined road, so we're going to try to move the helicopter over closer to the golf course so we can see the motorcade enter the golf course. So there may be moments there where you're not going to see anything there through the trees. You'll see them enter the screen here in just a second. See that lead police car, followed by the motorcade. And again, not the easiest area to reposition the helicopter, so you may see a piece or two of the helicopter from time to time. Obviously that roadway, Rattlesnake Bridge Road, is all shut off there. The way they're driving down the roadway there. There he goes, making the right. I believe that is Lamington Road, if I remember correctly. So this will take him to the entrance of the golf course. So go ahead and follow the cars for a couple seconds. These supporters there waving on the side of the road as they go by. Couple of folks waving to the former president. See a few more people on the side of the road over here. Not easy to tell if they were supporters or opponents of Mr. Trump. But you will still see a couple of people from time to time on the road there, waving and holding signs. Typically they gather on the other side of this roadway, on the other side of the golf course, out by Route 206. But tonight, just a few people at the end of their driveway or somebody's driveway, hoping to get a glimpse of the motorcade as it goes by. And we should be coming up on the golf course at this point. You see the black SUVs getting closer to each other. The police slowing down. Looks like they're trying to get one car out of the way as they get right to the entrance. See that one car being pushed to the side, so to speak. And there we can see the motorcade making the right into Trump National here in Bedminster. So we'll follow them back to the house. And it's set rather far back from the road here, so it'll be a little bit of a drive as they make their way along the tree-lined route. They work their way through the trees there. You can make out some of the golf course as well. And next weekend, not the coming weekend, but the next weekend, there is a tournament that'll be here. Oops. Gotta wait for some of the animals to get off the highway there, off the road, I should say. Almost like it's a little protest to keep Mr. Trump from getting back to his house, but you can see the animals here not making it easy for the former president. This has actually been the hardest part of the ride, getting back from Newark Airport. There we can see they have moved off to the side of the roadway there, and the motorcade will continue on back into the golf course. And again, you'll notice a lot of structures on the golf course. Again, this is a tournament that'll be held not this weekend, but the following weekend. So they are getting the course ready for all the television production that goes along with that. See them rounding the bend there. See the big American flag. As they come up here by the course itself. And we'll see if they stop here or go back to the main house. It looks like you'll be going back to the house. You see visitors to the golf course standing outside. So they'll go over the speed bump around the parking lot, and eventually they will end up back over here on the top side of your picture here. I don't know where we can go, Eric, but obviously he should be going over here. So we'll see in about a minute, a little less than a minute, as the motorcade makes its way. Let's readjust the camera for 1 second. Let's see. I'm opening the door there. And we should see the former president getting out of the truck right now. It looks like he's on the phone. Wraps up his phone conversation. We'll watch him walk over here to the house. This entourage following behind. Very slow, methodical walk up to the front of the house. So as you can see, the former president has made his way back to his residence in Bedminster at the Trump National Golf Course. We'll give you the wider view of the entire complex down there. You can see where the residence is, where the pool is. You see the main houses over here where they do most of their entertaining. So again, that has been our coverage there of following Mr. Trump. The former president arrival back from Washington, D.C. His ride from Newark Airport back here to his golf course here in Bedminster, New Jersey. And that'll do it for us here. So reporting live in Chopper 2, I'm Dan Rice, CBS News, New York.
This has been breaking news.